Hello.
Hello and welcome.
Yeah, we're very excited to be here. First episode.
Woohoo! I'm
Yay.
excited.
I'm Talia. And
And I'm Jordana.
yeah,
Sorry.
um, who are we? So I'm Talia and I am a ECE and I'm also an education assistant. I've been in the field for 10 years as an ECE. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Yeah, I'm Jordana. I've been in the field, started school in 2018, but I'm working in the field since 2019. So what is that, like almost 6 years?
Something like that, yeah.
Dang, yeah. So 6 years in the field, and I am an ECE. I have my special needs and my infant toddler. And then I have recently got a new position as an infant development consultant. So a little bit of a career change there, but still working with the little kiddos.
Nice. Yeah, I forgot to say too, I now manage a daycare. So.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah. um, yeah. So why did we get into the field, Jordan? Why did you get into the field? Let's start with you.
That's a loaded question. Why did I get in the field? So way back in high school, you do your grade 12 grad transition. You kind of figure out what your life goals are and what career you're gonna
I
take.
didn't do that.
Skip that class.
I did grade 12 planning.
Same. And you basically pick two careers that you want to pursue, and you do research how much schooling is going to cost, what school you can go to. And mine two choices were ECE, preschool teacher, or a baker.
A baker. Do you have hidden baking skills that I don't know about?
I'm a little rusty, and I kind of gave up that career because
Make like little fondant like flowers.
oh, I could try.
So.
Like I've never actually tried. But it was a dream.
Yeah.
And then I realized I made so many cupcakes and cakes growing up that I had to eat them all, and that also wasn't good. So
to eat them all.
yeah.
If you know, you know.
So yeah, I had to give up that dream real quick. Not where the money is at the moment. So yeah, ECE preschool teachers where I decided to go. I graduated high school and just went into the working field. Just did odd jobs here and there. Didn't really feel like going to school at the time. And then I was 25 and I was like, okay, got to get my life together. And I applied for school or I was 24 and I started school.
Oh, so you were out of school for those years between high school and then?
Yeah, I didn't know education between high school and like 24.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Just went straight to working.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, what were you doing when you were working? Did you say already?
What did I like Target. I worked for a toll bridge company. If you know, you know. I worked at a liquor store at one point.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Good workout.
I hated it.
I hated working till like 11 o'clock at night.
I didn't last long.
No. So yeah, I worked in the liquor store, odd jobs, yeah. And then I was like, okay, time to go to school. Had to be on a wait list to even get into school for ECE.
You were waitlisted?
Yeah. Well, because I am Indigenous, I have status, so I had to apply for funding for school.
Oh, so you're waitlisted for that.
Yeah, so I didn't, by the time I got my funding, the school had already filled the program. So I had to wait till the next year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, wow, what a year.
Yeah.
Being an EC.
Yeah.
It's waitlisted.
Yeah. Right. And I went to Douglas College, so they do semesters. So it was either I got in September or I had to wait all the way till September the next year. Just
Right.
the way the classes, the program went.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, had a little bit of, a little bit of a lull there for a moment, but
now you're in it and you love it.
yeah, yeah. No hesitation. Yeah.
No hesitation.
What about your education?
Yeah, okay, so quite a shit show, if I'm being honest. So high school, right? I wanted to, I really wanted to go into art school.
Mhm.
But there was lots of conversation of like, oh, you can't get, what kind of job are you gonna have when you're done? Um, it's hard to get into the field, blah 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 blah.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I yeah, so like an artist was my dream,
Okay.
but was it like a realistic dream? Was kind of what I was battling with. Or total opposite, I wanted to get into kinesiology.
Oh.
Yeah, and so
Just to clarify, that's like physiotherapy?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so you'd work for like big league sport teams and then like do like
Oh,
their
cool.
physio. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, anyways, I didn't do either. So I actually did a an internship at my church way
Okay.
back when
Yeah.
after I graduated. Did that for a year and then I was off for a year. Didn't do anything. I took a year off. And then the next year I was like, "Okay, I got to do something cuz I obviously haven't decided what I want to do yet."
Mhm.
And I was like, "I'll just do ECE."
Yeah.
It's a year course. There was like a little community college like around the corner from my house.
Yeah.
Um, I think it was called like Maple Ridge, Riverside. I don't know something.
Like
Maple Ridge
ooh,
Community School, Maple Ridge,
Riverside
Riverside.
College or
That's what it is.
Ridge Meadows College or something like that.
I don't know, something like that. If you go there, you know what I'm talking about. Shout out to Janet. She was my teacher.
Yeah.
Janet W. No, it's Janet
Yeah.
W.
Yeah. Fair.
Anyway, did that as more of like a stepping stone. I didn't actually want to stay in the field.
It was just something to like
Something
get some
that
education, get
some
out in the working
education.
field.
I was working at a few different places at the time. I was working at a gym, a local gym in their childcare, and I was also working in a local play center for a long time. And so I just wanted to get above minimum wage, and so I was like, let's do my
Amen.
ECE because it's whatever. I know I'd be good at it. So I went in just as a stepping stone, and 10 years later, I'm still in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So never left.
Yeah.
Still here.
Yeah.
Still kicking. I've done a lot in between. I did my education assistance a few years ago. I also dipped my toes into like animation a bit to see what that would look like just because I was burnt out at the time.
Yeah. Is EA different than ECE?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like ECE is your early childhood education.
Yeah.
And EA, education assistance, is so you can work in the school district. It used to be called an SCA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you do one-on-one with a child throughout school.
Yeah.
Did my practicum and I was like not a fan.
Yeah.
Of how that worked.
Yeah.
So and then I found where I am today. I was a supervisor for a while and now I am manager.
Nice.
Yeah.
Boss lady.
Got quite a few different things
under your belt.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so that's me in a nutshell.
So like when you were you in school and you already knew you didn't want to pursue the EA thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did my EA because I was burnt out in the early years field and it was kind of COVID too, so I didn't really know what I was doing. So I went into the EA so I didn't have to return to like ECE life.
Yeah.
Did that. Came out of COVID and I was in school still and I got the job where I'm at now. Just as an ECE there.
Yeah.
Before I graduated my EA, I knew I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So then I entered into animation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so I was really trying to exit. I was running at that point.
Yeah. So in that moment, you realized you didn't want to do the EA thing.
Yeah, and I still didn't want to be an ECE. But then I found where I am now. Still burnt out. However, it was a place where I feel how ECEs should be. Their philosophy is what you learn in school. You have people surrounding you where I am who support you like that. And like the vision is what you learn in school. And that is so rare to find out in the world.
Finding no matter what your philosophy is in the ECE field, in the early years field, you almost have to like not shop around. I don't want to use that, but like find a center that aligns with your philosophy, somewhere you want to go to work, somewhere
Absolutely.
because there's
But it's
high
also,
academic based centers, there's play based centers, there's a different variety of philosophies.
and
So
then on
finding
the
the
flip
right
side
place.
of all that too is you do your interview with either the manager or the supervisor or the owner, whoever.
Yeah.
They say they're play-based center, Reggio inspired.
Yeah.
They say all the wonderful things.
Yeah.
And then great interview, you get the job on the spot, and then you start.
Yeah.
And that classroom is teacher directed.
Yeah.
Crafts everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not play-based.
Yeah.
Not Reggio inspired.
Yeah.
And then what I do when that happens is I'm like, oh, maybe they don't know. And then I try to fix it.
Yeah.
And then I get burnt out.
Yeah.
Because they don't actually care.
Yeah.
And yeah.
You wind up doing more than
I'm sure
others.
If ECs, if you're listening, you understand exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally fair. Yeah. So, I mean, I had a moment too, before I got into the schooling for ECE, just before, where I felt like there was a moment where like I was like, I do not belong in this place, like education wise, and I need to go do something else. I went to BCIT, all my family, I went to BCIT for an information session, and all my family is in the healthcare field. So I wanted to go into ultrasound. So I was sitting in information session and I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I just did not feel like I belonged. It was not the path I was supposed to be on. I left the information session like halfway through and I was like signed up for ECE right when I got home for Douglas because I was like, this is not where I'm supposed to be. You just have a feeling and you try to pursue it, but yeah, you just feel like you should be somewhere else in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah. And so kind of leading into that too is everything we just kind of talked about is why we kind of started our podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why we're here right now.
Yeah. The reason behind the podcast.
Yeah, we want to encompass early years as a whole. So like if you work as a dance teacher, as a sports team, you're a nurse, you're an ADP, you're a manager, you're an ACE, you're an EA, you're a teacher, you're play therapy, you're counseling.
Yeah.
Literally everything under the sun that encompasses early years people we want to talk about.
Yeah.
We're going to be interviewing people.
Yeah.
We have an elder that's going to be present in our podcast quite often.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Janet. We will introduce her a few episodes from now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just want to, our goal is to spread awareness.
Yeah.
And to let people in the field know that you're not alone and we know you're underpaid and unappreciated, but we appreciate you.
Yes. Yes. Something for you to listen to on your drive home, tune in while you're at home relaxing, doing self-care.
Yeah, and all of our stuff will be posted on YouTube as well, so you can like tune in and watch us.
Yeah.
Or you can listen to us in the car or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like why.
Yeah. And we both never done this before, so bear with us.
Yeah, bear with us because we're learning. Oh my god. You know what? I just realized. Yeah. We skipped a question.
Oh, what did we skip? See, this is why we write notes.
How do we know each other?
Oh, I guess that's kind of important.
Juliana, how do you know me?
Oh, way back in the day. I'm just kidding. Way back. So we actually knew each other kind of, sort of, when we were younger.
Yeah, we were at each other's birthday parties.
Yeah. Picture evidence, too.
Thanks, parents.
Yeah, we kind of know each other through like marriage / adoption, kind of, sort of. I would call us like second cousins.
3 times removed.
Or somewhere.
Basically, the family tree is fucked.
Yeah. Very blended.
So I grew up with her as a cousin in our early years.
Yeah.
Lost contact at like 6, 7, something like that.
Yeah.
Our families just didn't talk. I think.
Yeah.
Family drama.
Like I don't even know if it was due to
I don't
family
even
drama.
know.
Just like
everyone moved on.
I've
from each
moved
other.
so many times in my life. It probably
And then and then it's funny. So my best friend growing up, married
my cousin
that she grew up with.
that I grew up with.
He's also kind of like my cousin too, but I didn't grow up with him.
Yeah.
We share cousins.
Yeah. Yeah.
See what I mean? Like, it's really confusing.
We should really draw it out one time on a family.
Draw it out and post it on social. This is our family
tree. How we are related.
Yeah, that would be fun. We should.
I know when people like ask us that sometimes, and just like we just look at each
the
other,
whole spiel,
and we're like, kind of, sort of.
It's the whole spiel.
Yeah. Like, bear with us.
And it's super weird because like my best friend growing up married our cousin.
Yes.
She knew him, I didn't.
Yeah, and we just never crossed paths.
And it was just super weird.
Yeah. And then
but my friend and you would have for sure crossed paths. Like at birthday parties and stuff. So that's also really strange.
Yeah.
Life is small.
And then
world is small, not life.
Yeah.
Life is big.
Yeah. And then we like re-met each other in Mexico.
Oh yeah.
When
at our
said friend and our cousin got married.
Yeah.
And we reconnected, and Talia told me to run from the ECE field.
We were on a boat drinking.
And she told me to run. And I was like, well, I already went through schooling. So
she's like, I'm in it. I'm already going through it. I was like, girl, get the fuck out. You will burn out super fast. But here we are.
I was gonna say, if I never did, then who knows if we'd be here today.
Well, and the funny thing is too, is we wouldn't, obviously.
Yeah.
But we never talked again after Mexico.
Yeah.
That was like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I needed a assistant manager. And I had her on my Facebook, and I was like, I was really digging back in the archives of people that I knew.
What ECEs do I know on Facebook?
Yeah, and are good.
Yeah.
And then all my people who I've worked with as an ECE have moved on from this field.
Yeah.
Due to burnout.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh shit, Jordana. I was like, I'm just gonna like message her and see what happens. And so that I did.
Yeah.
And she accepted, and she worked with me for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then she ditched me.
Yeah.
Her work poached her back.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've worked with the center for probably like
6 months.
5 years.
Oh.
And then yes, and then Talia gave me a job offer, so I couldn't refuse it, so I took it. And then my previous job gave me a job offer I couldn't refuse.
And now we're here recording a podcast because we missed each other so much.
We still wanted to work together, so here we are.
That's so funny.
But yeah.
And then that's how we know each other. And we're friends, obviously.
Yeah. Let's mix things up. I'm gonna ask you a question, Talia. What is one thing you love about the field?
Okay.
And then one thing I'm gonna say hate about the field, but I'm gonna also say dislike. Dislike, because hate
is
a strong word.
Hate is a strong word, but like if you know, like the field is hard.
Yeah.
What I love about the field. Working. Okay. What I love about where I work currently, I'm gonna go there because the field in general I don't love.
Fair.
And
I guess
I'm
that's
not meaning to be negative. It's just honestly the reality of the early years field.
Yeah. Or any field where you're taking care of someone, whether you're a care aide or a nurse.
Yeah, that's true.
Any field
when you work with the vulnerable people sector.
Yeah, like when you're giving so much of yourself to other people.
That's a good point.
That sometimes you don't have enough for yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah. So I'm trying not to be negative.
Yeah.
And I'm not this negative. I'm just saying. Okay, what I love. Dig deep. There's lots that I love. So where I currently work, I actually really love. Okay, I'm gonna go on a little tangent. So team, if you're listening, shout out to my team. I finally have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful team.
Yes. Makes a huge difference for sure.
Huge difference. And they're all just wonderful educators who truly want to be with the kids, be with the families, and make an impact.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just feel super grateful.
Even though I ditched you.
Yeah, don't worry, I've replaced you.
Just kidding, you're not
I know,
replaceable.
just kidding.
Sorry, I just had to add a side comment.
That's so funny. Okay, off track. What do I love? I love connecting with the family as a whole, so the child and the family.
Yeah.
And just even like chatting with the parents at pickup or drop off if they're having a rough morning, like just letting them vent,
Yeah.
letting them just like vent to me and give like I'm just that person that it's not in their world
Yeah.
and they can just say whatever.
Yeah.
Giving them a coffee.
Yeah.
Like the connection is huge, especially like just where I'm speaking specifically to where I work.
Just
And
taking a pause and just
yeah,
be there in that moment with another person.
yeah, little or big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what I love. What do you love?
Oh, we're gonna
I'm
talk about
switching it
love
up.
before
We'll
we talk about
love,
hate.
and then we'll talk about hate.
I love when I walk into a classroom and like a child looks over and is like, Miss Jordana, and like runs towards you, and just knowing that you made such an impact on this child that they're so excited to
Side
see
note
you.
for you, the kids still talk about you.
Oh, see, that's what gets me. Those little moments that they just give back to you without even knowing. Or
Yeah.
like a hug, or just like, can I hold your hand on the walk? And it's like, yeah.
Can you sit with me?
Yeah. Can you sit beside me? Just like
you're running around busy, and they're like, can you just?
Yeah. Like those little moments where they kind of almost, yeah, like you're saying, like bring you back to reality, and they give you that loving moment. We might not even know we need in that moment. But it's just those little moments that get you through the whole day.
Yeah.
That's what I love. The reward back from the field.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah. Now the dark doom and gloom. What do we dislike about the field?
What do I dislike? I dislike how easy it is for people to become educators.
Yeah. Fair.
Because and like even education assistants, same thing. The field is in such need, and probably with many other similar fields working with vulnerable people,
short staffed all the time.
They're super short staffed, and so therefore they expedite people in school, and they pass people who shouldn't work with vulnerable people.
Yeah,
it's the fact. It's a fact, and it's a hard fact. That's what I hate. It should be hard. Like becoming a teacher
or schooling
should be longer. It should be harder.
Yeah.
Or just if it's the same amount of length because we're short staffed, it needs to be hard. It needs to be hard.
More in depth.
But also for people, for that to happen, it needs to be paid more.
Yeah.
So that it's people want it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's like people, it's attractive. People want to go into the field
for it to get that position.
Because they know at the end of the day they'll get a good job that pays well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's rewarding.
Yeah.
So that's what I hate. What do you hate? Dislike, sorry.
I dislike how little the salaries are. Like how there's kind of in the ECE field, there's kind of like tiers to how much you get paid. So like,
can you explain tiers? Because when you say that, I feel like you're talking about like a grid. There's no grid.
There's no grid. There's no
Just
grid.
to clarify, there is no grid.
There is no grid. There's no specific number. But currently right now, we are in a good spot because we're getting a $6 top up. People that hold ECE certificates get a $6 top up on their wage because the government realizes yes, they could take it away at any moment.
Yeah.
From my understanding.
Just like also side note, we're recording this in late November.
Yeah.
And we're releasing this in January.
Yeah.
The first week of January.
Yeah.
So we'll know in January what the top up is or if it won't be there anymore.
So yeah, what I was saying is the $6 top up is not guaranteed, but the government sees that we're so short staffed and going through COVID, like we really struggled. Everyone really struggled. And so we're getting a little bit more recognition nowadays, but fast or rewind a couple years ago where we weren't getting those pop-ups.
We were though. And just before COVID, I think it was 2019, 2018.
But it was like a $2.
It was like $1, and I think that's when it started. It was like $1, then $2.
Yeah.
And then it jumped to $6.
$4.
And then jumped to $6. Yeah.
Okay. But I just
still
hate how I want to say like underappreciated we are.
100%.
Because we're not really teachers, like classified as teachers.
No, because we don't go through the 4-year degree and the PDP.
But now it's coming to light how important early years is and how important early years education and getting that socialization is so important for your little ones.
Yeah, we have, as educators, we have the children before they go into school.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like we're helping them. Our goal is to help them be successful when they hit kindergarten.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like preschools and daycares, and we're just basically trying to get them ready for their next chapter.
Yeah. And with like playing and like socializing.
Yeah.
How to regulate, like all those things, right? Like that's a whole other episode.
I was gonna say, don't give away all the tea.
Okay. I have a question that we didn't talk about, and I'm just gonna throw it at you.
Okay. God.
What is your favorite memory of working in the field? Like, not just like it has to be a solid moment. Like you can tell me a story.
Okay, a moment that like a core moment for me.
Yeah, in the field with a child or with a coworker.
Oh, you're really putting me on the spot here.
That's okay. I can edit it. Take your time. I'm currently thinking myself because I just myself.
That's a good question.
I don't have an answer for it right now either.
What is a moment that lives in my head?
It could be a field trip. It could be just like a moment in the classroom.
Ooh, I'm going to talk about this maybe because it's kind of our, it's a field trip. Okay. And it kind of ties into this time of year because people should be starting this process soon. So at the center I worked at the time, we have a fish tank and we raise salmon chum eggs. And then we grow them till they're little fry. And then we go on a field trip and release the salmon into the river. Like the children get to release the salmon themselves.
Yeah, I'm currently trying to do this
myself. Yes. We're working on that. But yeah, so in the classroom we have a big fish tank. It has like a cooler. It's like a whole process. Yeah. It's very complicated. But my favorite memory was on the field trip after months of having these salmon chum eggs, turn it to little fry, and then just watching the kids and enjoying with the kids, helping the kids dip the bucket, the salmon fry
into the river.
And just that moment with the kids and just watching their amazement and their like proudness of like, yeah, we grew these and now we're releasing them into the river, and just that heartfelt moment, connecting with nature and everything like that. I would say that field trip is my favorite.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
And even afterwards, we get to go to a little pond nearby and like catch little like bugs with like nets and stuff like that. So it's very exploratory. It's very very fun being outside. You feel like a little kid.
Yeah.
I would say that's like a moment that I hold close to me that I remember.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. Nice. And then what about you? What is a core memory for you in the ECE field?
So as you're talking, I'm trying to think. If I asked the question, I have to answer too. I wouldn't say it's like a big like event that happened or anything like that. I've had 2 moments with 2 kids in my whole career.
Yeah.
Where you realize that, and I can give an example in a minute, but where you realize that that child thinks of you, and vice versa, as more than just like in the classroom aspect. Like you're a part of their little world and you're a part of their little family.
It takes a village.
It does. And then it's also sad because like boundaries.
Yeah.
Like you know,
Fair.
it's usually when they like leave kindergarten, or like one of them was when one of the child was exiting my program. This was really recently. And I we just had a little moment. I just looked at him and I said how proud I am, how proud I am of him and how much I love him.
Yeah.
And it was the look that he gave me,
Oh.
and then he just like went in for a big hug. Like it was like so endearing.
Yeah. Yeah. Like he
Real.
understood,
like he understood
what
what
you
I
were feeling.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that was really that was a special moment.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like those.
And
those
kids
moments.
can feel your energy too.
Absolutely.
You could be smiling and everything on the outside, but kids pick up on that energy, right?
Yeah.
So he probably knew you were feeling the feels.
Probably, yeah. But yeah, that's definitely a core memory.
Yeah.
I love, side note, that ever since whatchamacallit came out, what's that movie called? Or it's Core Memories.
Oh, it's the emotions one.
Yeah,
it's like the
called?
different memories. Inside Out.
Inside Out.
Yeah.
I love how ever since that movie came out, especially me, I say, oh, that's a core memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, and like making core memories is like we're working with these children, and some of these things that we're doing, the field trips we're taking them on, the playtime outside, we engage with them. Any of those moments could be core memories for those children.
Yeah.
And we just don't know that.
Let's write that down. That's another episode.
Oh, noted.
Yeah, I think that's so. Also, something we're going to talk about, just like leading into our next episode.
Yep.
We're going to talk about our like routine and scheduling,
and like how classroom schedules.
How important is your daily routine, Jordana?
Oh God, like do I have a set daily routine? Then my life's chaotic. So
I feel like you have a routine. I feel like you're someone who has a routine. like we're pretty opposite. I don't have a routine.
Yeah, I don't have a skincare routine. I mean, in the morning, I give myself half an hour to get ready for work.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I imagine you getting up at like 2 hours ahead of time.
No, I love my sleep. I mean, I'm working with children, right? So like I'm not putting makeup on because you're just gonna sweat that off. I'm not wearing nice clothes because you're gonna get.
I don't know why, but I just imagine you laying in bed and your alarm goes off and you're like, up, clothes, coffee, watch a little TV, like a little gaming, like scrolling,
not sitting still,
and then half an hour before you should actually leave, you're leaving, and then you're outside of the parking lot waiting.
One thing about us is yes, if I'm not early, I am late.
She's so early. Like, I have video footage of how eager she is to go somewhere super early.
AKA, I beat Talia to work all the time.
All the time. Like, even today, I said I'd be here at 10:30 last night. I didn't get here till almost 11. But you know what? To be fair to me, I just think, okay, just go to her house.
Yeah, it's not like I'm like sitting here and watching my watch like, oh, Talia, you're late.
I do realize, and I will acknowledge that I'm late often. Not to work, though. Okay, so routine in the classroom.
Routines and schedules.
Oh, that's super important, and we're going to talk all about that next episode.
Yes. Also, like, subscribe to
follow. So okay, so follow if you're finding us on Instagram or TikTok or wherever, whatever. We have a link tree on both of those. It gives you all of our links, where to find us.
Yeah.
If you're finding us on a streaming, like a podcast platform, just Google us. We're on Instagram.
Search us.
Wow,
on Instagram.
We're so hard sometimes. Just find us. It's let's get messy.
Let's get
messy.
It's
not consistent though. Some of it's let's get messy podcast. Some of it's podcast let's get.
If they just search let's get messy, they'll find us. And I mean, if they're listening to us, they've already found us.
That's true.
But yes, Linktree has all our links to follow, like, subscribe. We're also going to be putting up YouTube videos of our podcast. So watch that. Yeah.
Oh, please send us DMs. We want to hear from you.
Any
If you-
topics,
If
any
you want to
questions.
talk about something, or if you just want to vent and because you're burnt out, tell us.
We're here.
And we're here. Or if you want to come on our podcast and we interview you
Yeah.
and you work in the field,
Yeah.
please reach out.
We want to interview like children, parents, teachers,
Yeah.
people that are in
This is-
schooling, people that left the field. Why did you leave
This
the field?
podcast is for you and about you. And so we want to hear from you.
All right.
Follow and subscribe. Thanks for
Yes.
listening.
Thank you. Follow along our journey.
Let's get messy.
Let's get messy.
Talia and Jordana.